आर्थिक सहयोग में अभी और बहुत पोटेंशियल है.
Canadian intelligence agencies and Western intelligence agencies and Canadian police uncovered links between the Indian government and the murder of a Sikh Canadian in British Columbia. The Indian government has long been sensitive to a Sikh separatist movement among expats in Canada, and they've often complained to Canada about them. And the allegation is that India was involved in hiring organized crime to kill one of these Sikh separatists in Canada. So since Canada announced it was expelling the Indian diplomats on Monday, Canada has reached out to its Five Eyes allies, the UK, the United States, Australia, and New Zealand, to drum up support among its allies and to tell the Indian government that it must take these allegations seriously and work with Canadian authorities as the investigation continues. It's important to note that Canada tried to do this quietly behind the scenes and continued on that track, but has repeatedly been obstructed by the Indian officials. They've shown no desire to seriously look at these allegations or to seriously look at the evidence that Canada has. So for decades, Canada and India have had a strong relationship. There's a lot of family ties between the two countries. There's upwards of 2 million people that trace their family history to India. There's almost 1 million Sikhs in Canada. So there's a lot of strong family ties between the two countries. There's a trading relationship as well. But these Sikh separatists that promote their desire to have their own homeland in India has long been a sore point for the Indian government, increasingly so in recent years. So that's been a sore point in the relationship. And now the relationship is in a complete deep freeze now that Canada allegedly has evidence that shows that India is tied to the murder of a Canadian on Canadian soil. Since then, India has attacked Trudeau and the Trudeau government, and Canada has tried to provide off-ramps to the Indian government and work quietly, but the Indian government hasn't been cooperative whatsoever.
There are credible reasons to believe that agents of the government of India were involved in the killing of a Canadian on Canadian soil.
There are worries among Indo-Canadians that India could disrupt their ability to visit back to India by disrupting their visa applications and stuff. They did block certain things last year when this was a public issue. So there's concerns around that. But Canadians have been largely supportive of the Trudeau's government's stance towards this. I mean, it's not every day that a foreign government kills one of your citizens in your own country. So Canadians have largely been supportive of Trudeau.